and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows all things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people that struggle. Salute, salute, salute. How's everybody doing? How's everybody on the East Coast? How's everybody out there on the West Coast? How's everybody in the Midwest and the dirty South? How's everybody across the oceans and in the universal spaces? Peace, peace, salute, peace and power. Good afternoon, all. I know I haven't been live on my YouTube in some time, uh, but there's always a lot going on. Always a lot going on. Texas in the building. That's what's up. That's what's up. How y'all doing? Salute. Um, I didn't have, well, I always have a title to give, but I didn't have a title today. Hey, Lisa, salute, salute, salute. Um, Peace, Mark. What's good? Um, because I had a lot going on from early this morning. As you know, all my people are connected to the DOE, to the school system. So teachers went back to work today. So did um, administrators. So of course, I always feel ways about that, being that these health protocols are not being adhered to and are really, really beyond stupid at this point. Um, I won't speak of the tune-up, which y'all know what I'm talking about, but I did see, I believe the sister Vicky Dillard uh, went live on IG talking about the tune-up and federal mandates and things of that nature. You know, we knew that was coming down the pipe. Hey, I see you. Um, so with that on my mind, as always, because I have a unwavering love for our people, and for me, love is an action word. Love is a verb. So, you know, I have a very, very deep concern when it comes to that poison that's in the air. Um, but upon coming back after, making my morning runs, um, I opened up my Facebook to a very disheartening post. If you follow me and you've been listening to me, last Saturday I went to I went to the regular fish spot that I usually frequent Saturday, and it was closed. So subsequently, I went further down the block to a new uh, fish joint and giving it a shot, But I realized that on that block, one of my comrades, man, my air lights, man, God body, has a new black owned and operated business called the Mint Leaf Cafe on Empire Boulevard in Albany. So I went there to check them out, because a few times I passed by and it was closed. I noticed it was open, so I shot by there. He wasn't there, but supported the business, but he was on my mind heavy. So after these morning runs, I come back and open up my Facebook to find out that his wisdom, his earth, his wife had transitioned. And that shit just blew me away because that was the last thing. Like sometimes when you open up social media, you don't know what you're going to see. You don't know what you're going to find. You don't know what's waiting for you. And again, we utilize social media as a tool. We utilize social media to inform each other. We utilize social media to educate each other, move each other forward. But it's also a communication device for us. So when I open and see his wife has transitioned, and I had no prior information on her being ill, that wasn't a concern. You know, we kind of chit chatted, you know, text back and forth, you know, through the last couple of weeks, and there was no mention of it. Um, and they had shared this relationship, this bond, this marriage, 29 years. So his son is young. Okay, my daughter's 16, his son is 9 or 10. So that immediately put me in a whole different space. And I reached out to text him, and then I hesitated. Then, you know, I wanted to pick up the phone and call, but I could just imagine what he's going through. And then I immediately went to thoughts, empathy, and seeing and saying, well, damn, you know, and you put yourself in that space. And that's the realization that I had to embrace with this schools opening back up, you know, and my wisdom going back up in there. And then the day job gives me a mandatory meeting, a mandatory Google meeting. And, you know, when you say mandatory to a liberator, to a revolutionary, you're already triggering me. And this meeting, mandatory meeting, was about us getting tuned up. And if you don't get tuned up, you can't enter these buildings. So I'm like, okay, I already have a skill set. I already do everything that I know how to do for them. Do you understand me? I do social media. I do anger management over social media. I do anger management over, right? Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or Facebook Messenger Live, any of that. That's my skill set. I can do it without this organization. So I'm already triggered. I do anger management. I do parenting skills. I do domestic violence, batteries, accountability. I can do all this on my own. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm sitting in this mandatory meeting and you telling me that I have to get my body tuned up with this poison, or I can't go get this little bullshit piece of a check, the threats, right? This is what's coming down the pipe for everybody. So then, as I'm going through this meeting, I get back to Facebook and I look at the pictures of, you know, my airlight, you know, my brother and his wife who just transitioned. Again, the militancy, right? The energy is raised up a notch. I get a call from one of my clients that I service, right? With anger management all the way from Oakland. Own this, the universe shifts, and I have to dig deep, figure out exactly my tone and the words and the message that we need to share to raise her up and get her back into her right frame. But still holding on to cap all the information that I just heard. Federal mandatory tune-ups. My buddy losing his wife. My daughter preparing for school Monday. All this is going on. And knowing that because these policies and these mandates are coming through, that at some point they're going to stop this social media shit. They're going to make it harder and harder for us to communicate. Oh yeah, that's coming down the pipe. That's coming down the pipe. Y'all can trust and believe that. They're going to try to make it difficult for us to utilize these platforms, these formats, these technologies to envelope each other in love and resilience and militancy. That's this trust is coming down the pipe. So you may not see me on this. You may not see others on it. So how do we move? Where are we going from this point? Because it's only a natural progression based on what you are seeing, based on what we're witnessing, based on what we are living through. You understand? Do you understand? Indeed, Dakota. Indeed, that's coming down. So how do we secure ourselves, right? Because again, when you put it as plain as they are putting it, that you have a choice to make. Either get tuned up or lose your income. And if you lose your income because you don't want to get tuned up, you cannot collect any governmental resources. But yet we're going to give it to these people who just got over here, who we're forcing to come over here. It is. It's a natural progression for war. As I continually say it over and over and over again. We are in a war consistently. And this is not a new war. This is a war that has been waged 2,000 years ago. This war has been going on 1,600 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, 200 years ago. It is the same exact war that we have been in. So now, how do we proceed? How do we make sure that the leadership, how do we make sure that those who are committed, how do we assure those who will draw their swords for our people are secure, are safe, are well-resourced? How? What are we going to do? And how do we assure that they will be informed on the who's, the what's, the where's, the how's? We have to make sure that we have other ways to communicate with each other. We have to know our tribe. And there's only one tribe that matters. That is the tribe of liberators. You understand? They did that already. Sue, they did that already. They already made that mandatory in specific states. Yeah. So again, you have all my social media contacts. It's all there. I trust and believe, and I tell you to make sure that you are up on every one of them, from my YouTube, which we're using now, to my Twitter, Facebook, my IG, and my email, OT Beauty. That's Oscar, Tom, BEAUTY, otbeauty@yahoo.com. ScyllaRock@gmail.com. That's Scylla, nope, Scylla, SILLA, ScyllaRock, ROCK @gmail.com. All right? Yes, coding everything comes into play because it's coming down the pipe. Hey, Lady K, salute, salute. It's coming down the pipe. And again, it's nothing new for anybody who's been following me for the last decade. My platform, my message, my yell has never shifted. I explained that we must be consistently militant. We must deal with strategy. We must deal with a consistent discipline. It has always been consistent. I reject everything that our oppressors have put in place for us. Always. That's all I ever speak about. Consistently. Telling you that revolution is love inspired, not hate. You can hate your enemy all day. That's not going to bring about his demise. You can hate everything that you want to hate, but it takes people who love each other, a determined love of self and each other that will encourage the warrior in you. So it's not hate inspired. I speak love. Love. Do you understand that? We have to have an unyielding, unadulterated love of each other to make sure that we not dying for a cause. We drawing blood for a cause. We learn from the martyrs. We learn from those who sacrificed. This is a new era in this war. Nah, baby. We drawing blood. No more martyrs here. Do you understand that? Martyrs came from a perspective of hate. And they lost. We are coming from a very, very specific ideology and practice of liberation through love, inspired by a will to liberate on a path to destroy our enemies. Simple as that. Just that simple. But be mindful of what's going on and our procrastination that will definitely be utilized against us. We've been doing it too long. So again, we must make sure that we are in consistent contact with each other, that we are consistently listening for the battle cry, that we are consistently listening for proper instructions to pull out of specific institutions, to pull away from certain lifestyles. Discipline. Discipline. Because that's what love is. It's an action word. It's a verb. Love is a discipline. It's not no fly-by-night shit. It is something that has to be worked on consistently, especially when you are under the umbrella of your enemy, when you are under the charge of your oppressor. You have to be disciplined in the love of self. And that is when you begin to feel light. And that is when you can strike. You can't strike if your heart is heavy and your body is heavy and your thoughts are heavy. The true soldier is light, very light. He doesn't keep heavy equipment on him. He doesn't overthink. He doesn't have a heavy heart. He is very, very light and swift. He strikes and he gets out of there. So we must come from that point. A point of love. We have to love our children and women. We have to love each other as men. You understand that? And love is very, very dangerous to your enemies. Very dangerous to your enemies. It is showing your fangs at the slightest indiscretion. Do you understand? The slightest indiscretion, your fangs is showing. That's what we have to learn. That's how we have to move. So when you make these attempts, right, to distract, to pull a wool over people's eyes, that's your enemy. Understand that. Those people. And you have to snap their ass in half quick. Quick. Zero tolerance for the bullshit. Because as you see, your enemy, my enemy, our enemies have allowed this shit. Those people with black skin. Those women with black nappy hair who stand on the podiums with your enemy, allowing policies to be passed, some writing policies in. This is the type of stuff that they do. I have zero tolerance for that. And now, right, it's upon us. It's upon us. Those who I've been calling out as your enemies for the last 10 years, 12 years, are now at the doorsteps, in the beds, behind the triggers, getting ready to assist in this war against us. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are we going to sit and die? Or are we going to start doing what needs to be done? That's it. So as they start to further clamp down, like I keep telling you, capitalism, oppressors, regardless of skin tone, has to control your space and your time in order to move forward and function. Time and space. That is war. If you control either or both, you can win. So as they clamp down on controlling your space, your time, how are you going to fight back? As they control the space and time on how we communicate with each other, what are we going to do? This is what I'm asking. This is what you have to go back and ponder on. Manufacture theory and then put it into practice. Because it is what it is. And I won't fold. All right? I won't fold on you. But you got to get dirty. You got to get busy too. You got to get busy. And to leave you on a high note, all war isn't loud. All weapons don't go bang. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Kizzy spit in a cup. Just remember that. Always remember that. Kizzy spit in a cup. So again, as we make sure that we keep in touch with each other, right? As we make sure that we communicate frequently and effectively, as we make sure that we keep each other on our theme, that we keep each other in the foxhole, that we keep each other engaged, that we keep each other supported, that we keep each other draped in love. We will live out our potential to be greater. All right? We live out our potential to be greater. And we will win. We see the finish line. We will win. Trust and believe that. We will win. So I just wanted to get that message out. I want to get that message out. I want you all to share that message today. Share it on Twitter. Share it on your Facebooks. Share it on your IG. Like I said, my page is always public. Rip the videos, take your favorite tones, your sentences. I don't rip it, just paste it everywhere. Because we have to encourage each other. Salute, Gotti, what's good? We have to encourage each other. We have to be there for each other. Trust and believe. You got that right, LG. Trust and believe that we have been in the grips of a war for a long, long, long time. We just now have to realize it. We have to realize it and start getting some casualties. Start building that shit up on the other side. All right? So I love my people. All power to the people of the struggle. Salute. I shall be back on social media somewhere throughout the day. Like I said, I got a lot in my head that I'm processing, talking it through, speaking it into existence. But trust and believe that we are at war. No other philosophy, no other theory matters other than true military strategics. That's it. I don't give a fuck what religion you prescribe to. I don't give a fuck what you call yourself. I don't give a goddamn about what you eat. Any of that. That shit is irrelevant when your enemy is sitting on your chest waiting to blow your head off. Understand that. They are here. And they are fighting. Fight back. Peace and power. Salute, salute.